Today is day 2 of our world trip to Australia, and we've woken up to a 4-meter swell. We're passing through the Sea of Biscay, and it's always rough when you come through this part. That's a word of warning that when you're setting off from Southampton is always take your seasickness tablets, because you are guaranteed when you pass through the Sea of Biscay that it's going to be rough. We've woken up this morning with both Sharon and George feeling seasick. I've had to go get breakfast for them, and I can tell you what, they're looking pretty blue around the face. A lot of the staff on the boat are feeling pretty sick as well. But this will pass in about a day or so. Once we head around the coast of Portugal, things will calm down again. So on a day like this, there's not much to do. Just have to batten down the hatches. As you can see, everything is pretty quiet. A lot of people are in their bedrooms feeling sick. But don't let this put you off coming on a cruise, because this will pass. These are all the countries we'll be stopping at. I think we're stopping at least 12 countries and 26 ports. On a day like today where you can't actually get out and do much, best thing you can do is orientate yourself on the boat. It's actually the most important thing. Find the quickest way from your room to the restaurants. Now in my case, when I need to go collect food for Sharon and George because they're sick, it's helpful to know which is the quickest stairway and the quickest lifts from the bedrooms to the restaurants. Now believe it or not, the second most important thing is to know where your laundrette is. So in our case, we're very lucky. The laundrette's right in front of us, maybe 3 doors away. The best thing to do is to find the reception desk, because everything revolves around this. All the shops, restaurants, lifts, everything work around this column. This is the excursion desk, very important if you want to book your day trips out. But if you leave your day trips out to the last minute, I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. You'll be amazed at how quickly they book up. Now, even although I said there's not a lot to do on a day like this, there's actually a lot to do on the ship during the day. There's all sorts of games, shows, talks that you can get yourself involved in.
On its own, number 7. Line 20.
Now yesterday I told you we almost didn't make this cruise, and the big issue was Flybe. Now we had our flight booked for early morning because we have to register with the cruise by the latest 3:30 in the afternoon. So what happened was Flybe cancelled the morning flight because of technical difficulties with the plane. So our plane was then scheduled to leave at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we get on a little bus from the airport to go take us to the plane, and we get stuck on this little bus. But half an hour later, we then make our way to the plane, and we get on the plane, and the pilot tells us that we were actually meant to be on a different plane. The problem is the plane that we were supposed to be catching had technical difficulties as well. So we were switched to a different plane, and they had to refuel it. So we were stuck there on the runway until the refueling process had taken place. Now you think that would be the end of it. Then they start bringing suitcases onto the plane, asking everybody to identify their baggage. The reason is that the automated baggage process at the airport had malfunctioned and were issuing wrong tickets. So there we were stuck on the plane for at least an hour and a half. And we didn't actually make it to Southampton airport till about 4:15 in the afternoon. Bearing in mind that the latest we could register for this cruise was 3:30 in the afternoon. Then we try and get a taxi. Half an hour wait, we get told. So after a very stressful wait, we're in the taxi, and the taxi driver tells us he doesn't think there's any chance of us getting onto this boat. But he drops us off at Mayflower Terminus anyway, and I run in quickly, and thankfully there were still 2 staff members working, and they agreed to book us in quickly. So we just dumped our bags on the floor there. They booked us in, and we ran onto the boat. And I take my hats off to the 2 staff members that stayed behind to help us. I know for a fact that there were still other people waiting at the airport trying to get taxis to the cruise, and I suspect that they never got onto this cruise. Now, I've had some friends who have had similar problems with flights, getting to the cruise terminal late and the boat's already departed, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So let this be a warning that if you're catching a cruise, make sure you either fly the day before or get there very, very early in the morning, and have a contingency plan, because to miss a cruise means that you either have to fly out to the next port of destination, which will cost you a bomb, or you forfeit all your money. And I suspect that the airline won't even pay you out. So just to finish off this little segment, Flybe, very disappointed. Although some of these situations can't be helped, but I tell you what, you nearly got us into a lot of problems there. We would have lost a lot of money and missed the cruise. I think next time I might just catch the train down a day before and stay in a hotel. We're into the first day of our journey here, and we are currently right there, the Bay of Biscay.